different stuff there too. We recently did an event a few weeks back, and like we got a much better. We were surprised on the day, like really big turnout on the day because it was a free event, so we weren't sure. Like we always account for about 15 to 20% show rate, and we had a significant amount more than that rock up on the day. And a really engaged crowd, got some great sales, and I feel that, you know, you get discouraged sometimes in that event space I did anyway. Could be just a whole part of the process. When you put in all this effort, time, resources, and then you don't get the return, you get like fucking 15 people rock up.
And you're like,
fuck, is this okay? And it's not that I gave less of a performance or gave less of anything on the day. I still gave them 110% because I wanted to do that for them. But it still just makes you think from a strategic point of view. I said, oh, okay, well, if this is what the space is going, is it best use of my time? So I think that we're getting to that stage where we're hitting our strides and people are really starting to take note of what we're doing and how we're about.
Yeah, and I think a big one as well is repeats.
Yeah.
Like people coming back.
And going, oh man, I've seen you there. And I was speaking to a guy the other day. He's like, I came to your Builder Summit. I came to Build Mastery. I've come here and I've brought my employee. So it's like, okay, so you're taking note, and now they're like, oh, we want to go to the next level, and they're engaging you as well. And that's what I'm finding on your media stuff too. A lot of people,
they're coming around now.
Yeah, they come around now. They go, oh, we've seen you 2-3 times. Like everything you've said the first time made sense and is happening, and I've seen the results from the advice you gave me. Can I buy your product?
We want to talk now.
Yeah, we want to talk now. So I think some people just need that 2, 3, 4 touch points before they actually commit.
Yeah,
so there is that level.
It's understanding the customer journey.
Yeah, but it's consistency too. Because what if we turned around? That's right. And you go, well, after you had that one or that handful, so you had 3 events where you're like, I didn't do that great. Maybe this isn't the thing, so we're going to give up.
Yeah, and you could stop.
And then that's it. You stop and then you never know. But if you're consistent, then you can have that one event where you get 3,000 registrations, 400 people rock up, and then you make $1 million in a day. You know, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen? And that's pretty cool too. How about yourself? What's been the biggest part of 24 for yourself?
You know, I'm just going to touch on this as well. It's been almost 2 years since we come up with the name.
For $1 Million Days?
Has it?
Yeah. How do you figure that?
How?
Yeah. Just go back 2 years and then love it. No, but like, what do you mean? When did we?
So it was like,
when was it's because we came up with a notion
in the event
6 months prior.
No, what? Dude, we're at an event saying, dude, we're going to make $1 million in a day.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
That's right. At the speaker training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, this is unbelievable. Like, and then the whole concept.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Would have been worse. Would have been me.
The whole concept
and the drip
of
Iggy, do you want to go get a towel from inside? On the left of the fridge, there's a towel.
The whole concept of
Robbie, for context, everyone listening in their car, Robbie just spilled his water back and everywhere. And now it's dripping on the ground. Anyway, it's upstairs for thinking. So, we're at that training, but we're saying we're going to make $1 million in a day.
Yeah, the whole name came 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, how quickly does 2 years fly by, right?
Yeah.
So fast. But yeah, 2 years ago, we came up with the whole concept. $1 Million Days.
Yep. And then you're like, and then you go, it hasn't, but that's all right. Imagine how good it'll be the day. I mean, the day it happens, we'll do a podcast that night.
So, do a live episode. You know what else we should do as well? Now that this is run for a full year, we should look at doing a thing where we just go through all the comments and and just read, because there's been some comment. We've had some comments on YouTube.
I don't look at it. I don't follow it. I've got to brush up. But yeah, is that one about the welcome to country still? Does that still go mental, or is it slowed down now?
It's slowed down now. Yeah. But yeah, 2024, huh? Give me that. 7 foot day. What else? What's been the biggest highlight? The biggest, like the one thing, like let's say this is the biggest.
Do we categorize it?
Sure.
Like business, professional, personal, professional?
Yeah, go.
I'd say my personal one of the best things was in my construction business. We just landed this really milestone, significant project, single home, real luxury high-end home. So it was great to land that job from that perspective. I'd say, my GM, that'd probably have to be like, making the decision, appointing a general manager in my construction business. That's probably the highlight from that perspective. And then from a personal one, it just comes down to I just feel that I'm the 2024 of George is better than the 2023. So I'm proud of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I've leveled up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So thank you. So I like that. I'm pumped. And for myself, like I want to try and push myself again next year. And that's going to come down to that whole goal setting thing that we've been speaking a bit about over the last few episodes. I want to really set some ambitious goals. And I like how you said the other day, if you don't, you don't achieve all your goals, were they really that good? If you do achieve,
did you really push yourself?
Yeah, correct.
What's been the biggest lesson for George?
I'd say the biggest lesson for me is
what's the thing you now know that you didn't know at the start of the year?
I know where to do, Audie. Yeah.
I'd say,
Apart from the 49 million kangaroos.
I'd say that one of the biggest things is really coming to just understanding how much control I have over my own thoughts, but also like no one's going to do anything for you. I've always known that, but I've really put it into practice this year. As in no one's coming to save you. Do you know what I mean? If I want something in my life, and every scenario, whether I've had a challenging scenario or whether I've had whatever it's been, I've always found that when I back myself more than anything, then I always get through it. I think that's been one of the biggest highlights for me.
So what's the thing you now know that you didn't know?
Like always bet on myself. Not that I didn't know that.
Yeah, I feel like...
But it's like, yeah, I know, but I don't... You know it, but do you put it into practice?
I feel like you did.
I feel like I did this year. But was I previously? I don't feel I was as much. And probably more so... Look, you probably more so from... I'm talking more from a personal perspective now, not the business side of stuff. Okay. So I'd say more from that perspective. The relationships that you want to nurture, the relationships that you want to go through, like whether you have a challenge in a relationship, both friends, your partner as well, because that can often be a real challenging thing. Running your business and doing everything you've got to do. I was speaking to someone today about that I was coaching. And, we're talking about work and they're going on a holiday and I said, look, just make sure your partner's on board with everything you're doing. Like, so, she knows exactly what's happening and how you're going about it, what your goals and aspirations are. And he brushed off like, oh, yeah, she knows. I'm like, no, she doesn't. Okay, have the honest conversation. Like, I'm going away on a holiday for a week to Bali. Tell her, look, the business is operating without me, but there's a good chance I'm going to need to step away for an hour and a half because something's going to come up and I need to be on emails, I need to make phone calls, whatever it's going to be. Because she might take it as in, oh, fucking he's working all the time. Oh, he's doing this. Even though she might be in full support of it, it's still there. So having that open and clear line of communication and doing that's something that I've brought in this year with my wife. Yeah, with my relationship where we'll have, we'll just call it a date, but we catch up weekly without distraction. And kids and shit like that. And we'll go for breakfast.
So meeting.
Yeah. But we'll talk about strategic things. When I say strategic, it's like, cool, there's a time we'll talk about relationship. There'll be a time where you talk about money. There'll be a time where we talk about, well, what are we doing for holidays? What are we doing for this? And actually talk about the life aspect of what we're doing. We're telling the story, right?
Yeah, but it's
last episode, we're talking about the line, right? And everyone's playing on that line. Well, I want to, yeah, but that mediocre line. all right, where people just hover below it or hover
just
above
above it. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't want to do that. Like it's, as you said, mediocrity makes you feel sick, and it makes me feel sick too. And I feel by not having that communication with my wife, well, then how am I ever not going to be above that line?
Yeah.
In that aspect of my life. So, we've been doing that now for 6 months, and it's been really, really good.
Well, it's just good communication, right?
It is good communication,
Like
but it's also
dedicated.
But it's also a plan. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're saying, oh, I want to go to wherever,
Bali.
yeah, Bali or wherever, Disneyland next year. But okay, saying that and putting a plan in place is going to be very different to doing that, because that might cost $50,000 to go over there and do that. Where are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? You want to buy a house?
To do that?
Yeah, it is something I want to plan for next year. One of the things, one of the holidays. I want to go on 3 decent trips next year. We mentioned them early before. One's to go to Vegas, GC. One was to Singapore, and another one is to Disneyland if I can. That's $100K there? I don't know. Like, it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But look, if we don't do one of those trips, like, mate, look, honestly, the Disneyland's probably a bit of a stretch. But the other two are definitely very, very possible and within the realm of possibility, that's for sure. But again, without having that conversation, because we never used to before, and then what? Does your life just become come home, hey, honey, how are you? How are the kids? What are they doing? What play, eat, have a shower, go to bed? Is that what your life ends up becoming? You're paying that mediocre line? Or do we actually plan and challenge ourselves? Oh, here's another thing. Having difficult conversations. I think that's really, really powerful shit for anything, business and professional. Having a difficult conversation, and that's something I've learned to do a lot more now. And just bite the bullet, go, cool.
It's like the best fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because you can dwell on something that the other person hasn't even thought about.
They haven't even thought about it.
Yeah, and you're dwelling.
And it does your fucking head in.
Your head and da-da-da.
Does your head in. And I know everyone.
Okay, cool.
Hey, guys, I know, I don't even need to ask. You're all going through it right now. I bet you there is something right now that you need to talk to someone about. And it doesn't have to be your significant other. It could be someone at work. It can be a friend. It can be your mum, your dad, your sister, whoever it is. It's going to be someone that you need to have a conversation with that you're avoiding. And, conflict delayed is conflict intensified. Because as you said, you're going to get to a point where it blows up.
It festers, dude.
It festers, and it's like fucking cancer, mate. Like,
and it's like, it's not good in your mind.
No,
it doesn't. It's not the right environment. Yeah, it's so fucking. That's I tell people, I say, like, don't let people live rent free in your head.
Yeah,
like it's the most expensive real estate on the planet.
Yeah. So I reckon that, from a personal point of view, is something I've really concentrated on a lot this year. Is having the upfront conversation, not avoiding it. I do that within my business. So I've had conversations with employees that, you never want to have those difficult conversations. All right. I don't think it's ever something like, oh, can't wait to have this awkward conversation or difficult conversation or whatever it is. But I find every time I have them, totally fine. You get through it and it's actually, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I think, it's also a muscle.
Yeah. I agree.
It becomes easier.
It's
like, okay, let's just fucking sit down. Let's talk about this. Okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, and then you do it again and again. And then the 5th time, is there anything you do where you do it the 5th time that's worse than the first time?
Yeah. Very rarely. I've been training at the gym. I hated leg days would always be like, oh, it's going to be a hard workout.
Yeah.
Now I embrace it. And it's like, yeah, cool. Let's fucking go. What are we lifting today? Is that all? I can do that.
Light work.
Yeah. So, and that's the same analogy though, when you're having that difficult conversation. Like this year I had to fire someone and it was like, I did it. Just called them up. I didn't hesitate. I called them up when I said I was going to call them up and I said, listen, I don't think this is working out. Thank you for all your help. See you later. Not an easy conversation. And they started to bite back, to get defensive. Oh, but why? But this. And I said, this is the reason, so on. Thank you. And you know what? If I have to do it again, I'll do it again.
Yeah, and it'll probably be easier for you.
It'll probably be easier. Look, again, this time around though, I mean, if I had to fire anyone in my organization, everyone's been with me for a very long time. So it wouldn't be an easy conversation if I had to get rid of someone. But in the same token now, I also, because I hold myself in such high, have such a high accountability for myself, I kind of feel that if people aren't pulling their weight within the organization and everyone else is and I am, then you're really letting the team down. And I kind of take it personally to a degree. So that in turn makes it a bit easier for me to have that conversation with them. So, hey, come on. And plus, I'm the leader. If I'm going to be the leader of the company, then I need to be able to lead good times and bad. And then I look at that as well in my relationship. I said, well, I'm the leader in my household. Okay. And that means, yes, I am the leader of my wife. I will lead her to where I need to go. And and she will follow, not out of obligation. It's out of want. Yes, I trust you. You are going to do this. You are the head of the family. She's the heart.
You're going to send us in the right direction.
That's right. I will provide the home. She'll make it. I'll provide the house. She'll make it a home. You know, like that sort of aspect. We're working together. It's not a dictatorial thing.
Where's the food?
Sorry?
Where's the food?
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.